Hello my friend and welcome to my first video on this new channel called Info Dumping with AJ. I am AJ and I make videos where I talk about a bunch of very different fandoms I enjoy. Basically, I get to info dump about my special interests without annoying any of my real life friends, and you can listen to my blabbing by choice. And since I've always loved music and I'm currently majoring in musicology, expect a lot of music talk on here. The very first fandom I was really in was my favorite show as a kid, Winx Club. For those of you that don't know, it's a magical girl show about fairies that debuted in the 2000s and is actually currently being rebooted. And one of its core aspects are the fairy transformations, which have amazing songs. And thus, I have chosen my first video to be a rating and ranking of all the Winx Club transformation songs. Not including the reboot song, since I can't be 100% sure that the one we hear in the new clips is the final choice. And here you can see my tier list. I have renamed the categories a bit from the standard letters, from S being Divine Magical Symphony, I, Amazing Hymn, B, Certified Bob, C, okay, D, Doesn't Do It For Me, and F, Fuel of Nightmares. Basically, you could say D are the ones I just subjectively don't like, and F are the objectively bad ones. And down here, I have the songs. They are in chronological order, and because of the music theme, I obviously had to pick Muse's images. Well, and her bestie Aisha to help distinguish Season 1 and Season 2 Magic Wings. And I've made a playlist with all the songs I talk about, in hopes I don't get copyright strikes on my first video. So, if you want to give them a listen, you will find the link to the playlist in the description box. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and put the songs into the categories and see later if I have to change the order within them. So if you're ready, let's fly. We're starting off with the OG We Girls Are the Wings, the Season 1 version by Lucia Micinelli. It's catchy and very energetic, befitting of the modern depiction of fairies that the show intended. The vocals are super powerful, and the background vocalizations of each fairy's name are great. And definitely better than the really cringe power lines we get starting in Season 5. Anyways, Techna's is cool, uses bass sounds as well, Flora's is just beautiful, and Stella has two different ones that both have very beautiful and unique melodies. And Bloom is the MC everywhere else she can handle not being included for once. Lyric-wise, there are two versions. I had thought that they were distinguishing between solo transformation and group sequences, but on a recent rewatch I heard them use the singular version for a group transformation as well, so I guess it's just whatever floats their boat at the moment. Anyway, no surprise, we are starting off with an absolutely magical symphony. Though I am focusing on the English dub, specifically Cinelume and Forwards, I do have to mention additional versions and songs here and there when they stand out significantly from the English. The first one is the one that I grew up with as a German. Let's ignore the weird lyrics for just a second, because what bugs me the most is that the German dub obviously didn't understand what the backing vocals were doing, because they turned Flora's beautiful backing vocals into It's so cringe, I can't. And Muse's bass sounds are even gone completely. And if we have a look at the lyrics now, they turned I will be transformed energy creating my magic powers into I am not afraid because the fantasy is a strong sword, which makes no sense at all, but does sound kind of cool, I guess. And what I had thought to be the group version of the song is equally horrendous. We belong together and we get, fetch or grab you or whatever, our magic power from the energy in the here and now. Makes no sense in German either, so why did they do that? So obviously we are downgrading hard from the original. I guess it's still okay. Okie dokie, let's move back into the English dub and talk about Season 2, where they replaced the singer, probably for a better pronunciation. But modulating the song down to fit Jasmine Saneno's vocal range made it sound so much less energetic, and her vocals sound as if she's asleep. No emotion in her voice, and very nasal. She really sounds like she doesn't want to be there. And that one in the middle sounds so much like an afterthought. Also, it doesn't have the fairy names in it, which means that Aisha never had the chance to get one. And one more thing, I've only ever heard the group version in this modulation, so did they only read up that one with her and leave the other out? I mean, it probably fits because in the first season the girls were still bonding as a group and weren't a cohesive unit yet, so using both made sense. Whereas now they've grown closer together and probably don't need the individual song anymore. It's obvious that this is a step down from the OG, but how much? Let's see, it's also okay for me. Oh hey, and for the Americans wondering when the 4Kids song comes, there it is, all the way in the bottom for not even trying. They literally just put an instrumental of the intro there and called it a day, and I hate everything about that. Get it out of my sight and let's continue with the European songs who actually make an effort. And yes, I even made a whole category reserved just for this. And then our Queen Lucia gave us a full version of Magic Wings. In Italian, but I don't focus too much on the lyrics. The voice and melodies and power are so much more important. The OG part is made the chorus here, while the verses contain all the wings introducing themselves and their powers, meaning all 6 of them get a mention. A true testament to Lucia's versatility is the fact that all 6 introductions feel like different people or characters. You don't feel like there's just one singer throughout. The key is yet another new one, neither Italian nor English, and I kinda dig it. Plus, we really see that Lucia is a rock artist. This instrumental is so much more powerful. The chorus is repeated a bit too often at the end, but that is the only thing I have, so this rock anthem goes straight into a very high tier. I think it's amazing. Alrighty, let's move on to Charmix, where we have 2 different instrumental themes that I did not find any names for, so I guess I just have to describe them. The first one was also used as an alternative music for the Magic Wings transformation. Funnily enough, one of the instances is for Flora in the episode where she earns her Charmix. Foreshadowing, there is an underlying drum or conga beat that is very interesting but hard to hear in the final mix. At the end of phrases, it really animates me to double clap on the end 4, which is funny. The music in general is energetic and nice, but there's just not too much to say since it's just a short theme at 17 seconds. Let's put it into Bob then. The other version I always call the ninja version in my head because it was also used for the ninjas to transform in the Heraklion episode. While the previous Charmix showed its power through strength, this one dominates through its majestic force. Also, it's longer and has more time to develop into a more playful and optimistic music. Its key feels a lot warmer. It's also used for heroic battle and magic scenes, like in the season 3 episode where Althea is under siege, the wings transform into Enchantix and magic wings respectively, and then this Charmix theme is used for the battle, the transformation trifecta of the OG seasons. I always love hearing that. Side note, there was a moment during the Wildland arc where Musa transforms into Magic Wings with a solo theme with just her name, which then morphed into the Magic Wings song for her Charmix transformation, and then this Charmix theme played while she did her spell. That was kind of funny and I didn't know if that was a dubbing mistake or a cool quirk. Okay, enough with the side notes. I think this music is amazing. I grew up with the original, no 4Kids or Nick specials, and thus I only found out about the existence of Power of Charmix by Kate Kelly once I grew older and delved back into the fandom, which means that it doesn't get the nostalgia bonus from me that it would from other people, and I just find it nice, nothing special, no melody that makes me emotional, so just okay for me. And now, Enchantix. We start off with the original Italian version by Lucia Miccinelli for reasons I'll tell you in a second. Lucia's vocals just serve so much power. However, the theme of Enchantix is supposed to be majestic, as demonstrated in the outfits, concept, and instrumental. The vocals seem like they're yelling. However, that ties into the theme of the original transformation, and the two don't sound too different, which is actually a good thing. What I don't like is the harsh ah sound in Enchantix. Where do I put it? I go with Bob for now. Moving on to English, again sung by Jasmine Sanino, and again the key had to be lowered for her voice, lowering the power and energy and sending us to sleep. Almost every dub in the world manages the original keys, and they had to get the one singer that doesn't. Sorry. Let's talk about the lyrics real quick. The rhyme between powder and power is very smart. But the rest is just a list of adjectives, how Enchantix is so powerful, magical, incredible, and so on, which actually fits the later seasons much more. And some words just seem weird in the context, like why is the dimension wonderful and why is the vision incredible? A downgrade for sure. I'm sorry, I have to go with meh for this one. But now, listen to this. Yes, we're back in the German dub, and from the very start it's majestic. The vocals sound so crystal clear with high brilliance. Also, the pronunciation of the A in Enchantix is very pretty. Question here is, why did she pronounce the E like an I? But oh well, I just wanted to show you this to demonstrate that it can be done. My girl is going straight into amazing. And now I have a kind of random one for you, but kind of not. It's the fairy dust theme. This deserves to be on the list because it was used as an alternative Enchantix theme sometimes, and because it's so gorgeous that I just couldn't resist talking about it. Because those vocal lines are just so gorgeous and emotional, I had to. There are different versions of this. I have seen people count 3, but I feel like 2. Which doesn't matter because I love them all a lot, but the one with the raw vocalization the most. It is majestic and the melody sounds divine, but the vocals give it a rawness and emotion that takes it a couple notches higher. I will just group them all as one and put the lot into hymn tier. Fine, in order to be as complete as possible, I shall do the 4Kids Enchantix as well. The bar for this entry was very low and it managed it by simply doing something new. But it's just notes played by angelic sounding instruments, sounding super empty without any harmonies, so it's still a D. Though changing the song for the movie is a choice, I really like it. Elisa Rosselli makes her debut in the Winx Club franchise with Shining So Bright. It loses the majestic force of the series song and replaces it with high tempo and energy. The strings are replaced with rock instruments, which I obviously like very much. The main song is obviously not so long, but it adds a guitar solo. I have transcended. The voice sounds a little pitched, making it a little on the childish side, but still fine. But she also pronounces it Enchantix. Why though? It's between him and Bob for me, and I guess I'll say him. You thought we were done with Enchantix, didn't you? However, we are far from it, because there's a whole bunch of new full versions. The first one came out in 2021. I just love Lucia so much for giving us more Winx music, and also she made it a heavy rock anthem, which is right up my alley. I'm a little confused as to why she went with the lower key from the English version instead of her higher one, but that is immediately forgotten when she gives us a verse. Though it's still far too short for my liking with its chorus verse chorus form, it's still absolutely magical, amazing. And I didn't even know the Queen made yet another version. Seriously, I only found it during my research for this video, when I looked through Lucia's YouTube channel, and apparently she rounded out 2024 with an even longer version of our beloved Enchantix, this time even in a full song structure. She expands on the chorus verse chorus from 2021 with a second verse. Oh my god, I'm so hyped right now. How is this not known as widely in the fandom? Then we get our magical chorus again, followed by a bridge, which consists of angelic vocalizations. You know, I never knew for certain who sang in the fairy dust themes, but some melodic lines in this bridge sound like they are from those, so I think it was Lucia back then, and the whole bridge could be a musical expansion on those themes. Oh, I just love her so much for bringing it back. The only drawback is that she didn't keep the rock instrumental and went more chill, so I will put this in amazing as well. My perfect song would be the 2024 song structure with the 2021 instrumental in the original Italian key. Oh, if only I had the remix skills. By the way, I put the title Ali di Luce through Google Translate and it literally means wings of light. Awesome. Amazingly, Elisa also gave us an extended version of her Enchantix. However, it has a very long intro with spoken words like level up and evolution that goes on too long and is very cringe. Then it has lost the rock. The lyric change is not bad, I'm just not used to it. And it's not really a song structure. The chorus is just repeated a bunch of times with some nice vocalizations over the now electric solo in between. This downgrade drops all the way to meh. Alright, now it's Believix's turn. And it's just beautiful. I love it. The chord progression is really great. The lyrics inspirational. The vibe strong and powerful. It's just, all in all, it's awesome. It's really high tempo, over 150 beats per minute, makes it very energetic and strong. One of those songs that get me to the party. I'm not quite sure what the difference between the series and movie version is supposed to be. I don't hear it, apart from maybe a little heavier rock mix. But it's amazing without question, and a very high one at that. And now I have a very special one for you. The Polish movie version. It's so pretty, just listen to it. The combination of female and male vocals is very interesting. And that bridge? Divine. The very first round of the line that increases intensity back up. It has such an emotion and a rawness I could cry. Divine tier, no question. Then there's also the special Believix wings, which have some nice music with nothing special for a sequence that had no purpose either, so at least it's kinda rockish. Meh. The suffix theme is short and sweet. And no, I don't call it song because it's lacking major song elements, but it's pretty. The key fits the nature and flower theme very well, and it actually invites to meditate. It's good, but it could obviously be better and more. So I shall go with Bob. My favorite out of the two Gifts of Destiny, song-wise at least, has to be Believix. It's faster, a little more energetic, and the key actually sounds very warm, which fits the coziness you would want in winter. It's like a warm hug. Wish it had lyrics though, but it's still amazing. My absolute favorite, so magical, is Harmonix by Elisa Rosselli. It has this rock vibe, gives me end credit vibes through its chord structure, high tempo and electric guitar strumming. And for this one, I also really love the Polish version because they work with autotune and harmonies in a way that fits the underwater sound so well. Divine for both. There's no other possibility. Many people rank Sirenix as the best transformation song ever, and I do have to agree that it is very high up there. I really like the sound and production, but especially the lyrics. The way it really thematically fits the transformation with all the water and ocean references, and the way it connects flying to swimming. I don't quite know about the infinite ocean flowing through them, since they're the ones entering the ocean and not vice versa, but still. The opening vocal line and background sound is so dreamy and majestic. I wish it had a real song structure instead of two verses over and over. But who knows, maybe Elisa will come around in a couple of years. A special shout out again goes to the Polish version, who really came in clutch with their autotune sound this season. It's actually amazing how well it fits the aquatic vibe. It's not quite divine, but amazing to me. Time for a little nerdy interlude. All the main transformation songs from the Interlude era, meaning Magic Winx, Enchantix, and Believix, begin with the transformation name, in the case of the latter two, in an upwards melody. In the bass transformation, the melody goes up by a minor third and then a major second. Interestingly, Enchantix starts with the exact same intervals in the beginning, tying the two together beautifully. Believix then switches it up a bit by using two major seconds. And now that we're moving into the nick dub, Harmonix starts to break away from that motif. The first Harmonix still uses the same intervals as Believix, but the second iteration jumps up and down. Sirenix then proceeds to move downwards completely, by a major second and then a fifth. It feels like they want to symbolize the diving underwater that the Winx are doing this season by also diving with the notes. Alright, nerdy time is over, let's get back to the rating. Next up is the Bloomix prototype by Elisa Rosselli. I decided to include prototypes in this list solely because I didn't want to omit the other one. And I only talk about the prototypes that differ from the songs chosen in the end, which is why Harmonix and Sirenix aren't on this list. The changes in lyrics and instrumentation are just too subtle. The Bloomix prototype might be a cool vibe, but I just don't like it. The sound is too edited and the beat is not my taste. Obviously it is catchy, but just because of my personal opinion, it's going into meh. The original song is actually better in my opinion, and probably only in mine. It has this chord structure that never fails to make me emotional, being the minor 6, then 4, 1 and 5. Also noteworthy is the very warm key this song is in. Like, for me, with my synesthesia, this song really sounds orange, red, exactly like a fire would be. The first words of each verse, "there's a light," etc., have this strong beat and harmony that pulls at my heart. The rest of the song can go for all I care, it's super repetitive. I shall give it an okay. The Mythix prototype is essentially a copy of Harmonix. But since I love Harmonix, I do this one as well. It's so gorgeous and I'm sad that it wasn't chosen, though I do understand why. I will put it in amazing still because it's so beautiful and the different key also gives me the vibe of summer in a flower field. The song that ended up getting chosen is so boring and the melody lacks emotion. The chord change into the verse is kinda nice, but the main part is just boring. Also, it seems like a pretty cheap copy of Power of Charmix. The vibe, melody, key, and especially the chords. My friends, we have our very first nightmare entry. Though it won't be alone there for long because next up we have Butterflix. Bottom of the list, no competition. Fitting the transformation, this song is devoid of any emotion whatsoever. The verses at least try to change things up and convey some meaning, but making the chorus nothing but a whoa 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 Butterflix is a crime. The F'iest F in all Fs. A rare gem among the later seasons is Tynix. Not many lyrics, but it sounds absolutely majestic through its laid-back tempo and especially the dreamy vocals. Very deserving of an amazing, if you ask me. It's actually really funny how the later seasons get so bad and then Tynix just peeks out of there like the diva that she is. I wonder why that is. Elisa Rosselli. Now, moving on to Cosmix, this song does have some power and the guitar riff is very catchy, but the vocals sound too childish for me and the chord progression doesn't move me. Sadly, too boring, so it will have to go into meh. Now that we're done with the main show, we're moving into World of Winx. The first transformation song there was Dreamix, which had a pretty interesting chord progression. There were a lot of warm chords like A major and D major, but then it throws in a bunch of A minors and F majors that don't fit into that key. That makes it very interesting, but also less harmonic in my ears. But it's still nice and good, so I shall give it an okay rating. I prefer its successor, Onyrix. The E minor harmony on the Winx Club Go line is so powerful, I love it a lot more. It's a lot like Bloomix in that regard, but better. Actually, I find myself dancing to this bob. Okay, almost done. Now that we've put all the songs into their categories, let's see if I need to change the order within them. I am not surprised at all to see Harmonix in the top and Butterflix and Mythix in the bottom. Overall, we can definitely see a trend, with the earlier seasons being very high and the later further towards the bottom, though there are exceptions, namely certain Enchantix versions and Tynix. What is your favorite Winx Club transformation song? Let me know in the comments, because I don't want this channel to go just one way. I want to engage with you about topics we like. Until next time, have a magical day.